Welcome to Castles to Cauldrons, where every journey starts with a little bit of magic.
Welcome to episode 38 of Castles to Cauldrons. I'm your host, Jason Davis. I'm here with Rachel, Terry, and Micah. We're joined today with a great agent for magical travel, Renee. It's good to have you on today, Renee.
Thanks for having me.
Can you give us a little bit about yourself, your history with magical travel, and some of your favorite Disney stuff?
I've been with magical travel for almost 14 years now. It'll be 14 years in January. This is not my only job. I'm a product manager for a rug and textile company as well, but this is never work to me. Planning people's vacations is just really one of the happiest jobs I've ever had, and I love it. I love my magical travel family. I wouldn't go anywhere else. I've stayed at every Disney resort, and I think that's really helpful when you're working with a planner. I love all of them for each individual reasons, and I think what makes the job so fun is I can get on the phone with a client and talk for 3 or 4 hours about Disney and it not feel like work. It just feels like fun to chat about things that I love.
I think we can all agree with that because, naturally we're all in this because we love Disney. We started the podcast to talk Disney and travel and everything, but it's always good that you have somebody my goal is to stay at all the resorts. I would love to be able to mark all that off. I'm slowly doing it. So to know that you've been there and you have the expertise, and once you're talking to your clients, you can say, hey, I've been there. This is what to expect.
And it's also fun to go back too, like 3 or 4 years later, see what they've done, see the improvements, see the room changes, new pool, new bar, new menu.
So let me get your thoughts then on the recent updates to all the hotels. I've said it a couple times. I don't like them, of how the inside of the hotel rooms look so bland. Is that something you agree with, or do you wish they would go back to the original stuff?
Certainly some of them I agree with. I am not a fan of the contemporary rooms.
No.
I love The Incredibles. Great movie, great story. I think it takes away from the exclusiveness of staying in one of the original Disney hotels, having it feel like an upscale hotel. So I'm not a fan of that. Love the new Grand Floridian rooms. Love the area rug. The whole design. It's just beautiful every time you turn around. Bathroom, patio. I'm trying to think of the other resorts. Love a good room at Pop. Fun, works, colorful, kids, adults.
What about the upgrades to Poly where they did the Moana theme?
I do like that. I think it could be if you have a lot of sensory overload, I think the walls could be a little bit much when you're laying in bed and trying to watch TV, and then it's all around you for sure. But I do think the theming there is a little bit more subtle than contemporary. So I do definitely enjoy it. Love the rooms at Riviera. I just stayed there last week as well. I'm not a big fan of the renovation at Saratoga Springs. It's very beige, although there's not really a lot of theming to begin with at Saratoga Springs. It's probably my least favorite resort. Everything is new and beautiful, but it's beige. It's boring.
It does feel like it's like your grandma's house or something, especially since it's so far out of the way for the rest of the resort. Like when you're at the end of the day driving, and I say it like that because in the South with my grandparents, they live 30, 40 minutes out. So it was a nice little ride to go to the country and see them. And that's kind of what I feel like last time I stayed in Saratoga.
Yeah. Sort of like to grandmother's house we go.
Yeah. And then it's just so sprawling on top of it. Like it's just a huge resort that I don't want to get on 6 buses just to get back to my room.
Yeah. And so some people really enjoy that.
What's your favorite resort then?
It really depends on what I'm feeling, what my budget is. Riviera for sure is right up there. But at the same time, I love Pop Century. I love Pop Century for what it is. It's connected to the Skyliner. It's super affordable. It's always clean. I've never had a bad experience with a staff member there. So that would probably be my value. My moderate would be French Quarter, just because it's so small. It's so quaint. Yeah. The theming is really awesome. And those new rooms are beautiful because they needed them. They hadn't been done in a long time. And then Deluxe is for sure would be Riviera. And then Boardwalk. I think Boardwalk is a sleeper resort. A lot of people don't even know that the Boardwalk exists, and then they stay there and they're like, oh my God, it was the best resort ever. And I might like the Boardwalk because I'm from New Jersey. So
I've got reservations.
You couldn't tell with the accent.
Yeah.
I've got reservations for French Quarter in July before we go on Destiny. So I'm excited to stay back there. We stayed there our very first trip, and we stayed there a couple times in between. So to see the changes that's happened is always going to be fun.
And no matter where your room is there, you're not super far from the main building, which is nice.
That's to me, that's the best resort on property, just because of how small it is and how central it is to everything, so that you can easily get in and out of it, and you don't have far after the long day in the parks to go and get to your room.
I wish they had another pool, even a small, quiet pool.
And they had the room for it. You look at it, there's a couple little green areas they could put a small, quiet pool in.
Believe it or not, this is how old I am. I was there when they did the name changeover
From Dixie Landings.
From Dixie Landings to Port Orleans Riverside. I've moved so many times, I've lost the picture. I actually had a physical picture from a camera, but I took pictures of them with the old sign and then the new sign. Maybe that had to be 2000, maybe 2001, 99, somewhere around there. That was really cool to watch.
They were two separate resorts. I mean, they're still two separate resorts, but they were two separately marketed resorts at the time. And then when they did the name change, they made it to Port Orleans for both of them.
Yes, because it used to be Dixie Landings and French Quarter.
Right. Well, like I said, Renee, it's great to have you. We don't have much of a episode when it comes to format wise. We just have a lot of news that came out of Destination 23 that Disney held as of this recording last weekend. So it's going to be 2 weekends when this comes out. Very bland news for the most part. There's some cool things. There's some not so cool things, but we're going to talk about a lot of it. The first thing we'll mention actually was announced after D23 for some reason. I figured this would be like a huge announcement for the event. February 1st, Dinoland will be closing for good. Restaurantosaurus and Dinosaur and all that stuff that's still open, that's the last days. So when you go to the park on February 2nd, it's no longer there. With that changes, the Harambe market will be getting rid of all that food back there. They're just going to go to plain hamburgers and chicken. I've never eaten Harambe, but I've always heard
I have.
It's really good food.
It is good food. It's very ethnic. And it goes with I enjoy
section.
Yeah, I just enjoy having that, the different stuff. Because quite frankly, every time you're at a quick serve, it's always hamburgers and hot dogs.
That's what I was gonna say. It's a welcome change, especially if it's your third or fourth day at Disney World and you're kind of out of the fries and chicken tenders.
That's also where they moved the corn. So I wonder if they'll move the corn back to the stand, because the corn had been moved into Harambe Market. That's over in Africa.
It wasn't at the fruit stand by the safari anymore, right?
And it had moved to Harambe Market. So I wonder if it's going to go back to the fruit stand then, because that's a popular snack in Africa.
Yeah. I just kind of hope that they keep a few of the Harambe's Market's menu items on.
The more popular ones.
Yeah.
I just
I get there's not enough space in the kitchen. I understand the logistics around it, but at least keep some.
Yeah. I kind of feel at least like you could have split it up with the hamburgers with Flame Tree, whether they were doing barbecue and and hamburgers kind of go together, and put the chicken over there in Harambe or something. But you don't have a whole lot of I say that there's unique dining at every location in Animal Kingdom, and just to have hamburgers and chicken take over one of the bigger unique fast food places kind of stinks.
Mm-hmm.
They could get rid of Pizzafari.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, they could turn that into Chicken Tender Hut.
Yeah.
That's where they could have put it.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. I mean, and they could have still done pizza there too, personal pan pizza.
So you still do slices of pizza, because how hard is that?
I mean, putting fryers in probably isn't that big of a deal, because that's all they really need for the chicken and the fries, and then
easy
a Blackstone type flat top, to do the burgers.
Well, even then, you still have the cheeseburger pods over in Avatar.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think those are better than the actual hamburgers throughout the parks.
1,000,000%.
Yeah.
I love that Night Blossom drink over there. Yeah. And then the cream cheese pineapple roll. So good.
That's probably
I can't ever pronounce that thing. It's a lupine. What is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing. Yeah. That's just why
delicious.
It's cream cheese and pineapple.
The beauty of mobile ordering. You don't have to pronounce it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There you go.
Another benefit.
You just have to know what number your order is.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably a big miss for obviously I love the fact that Dinosaur's closing and all that stuff to get the rainforest section with Indiana Jones going and Encanto. I just think the restaurant's a miss of moving it to Harambe, just taking away all that.
It makes you think how many people.
Dinosaur.
I was going to say the same thing, Rachel. I feel like that speaks to how many people eat chicken tenders and French fries and cheeseburgers. Because they wouldn't do it if there wasn't a huge demand for it.
Yeah, you, Jason.
Yeah, I'm raising my hand.
White bread America.
Audio podcast.
Yeah, I love how the 4 women agreed on the food, and you're like, no, it's a good change.
But I do eat at like the Flame Tree Barbecue and stuff like that. I just never, when we come into Animal Kingdom, it's always been the first park of the day, so we're not getting lunch or anything like that. So when I go to Harambe, it's grab a quick breakfast thing at Starbucks, do what we're going to do, and go to the next park.
I have lunch at Pandora.
See, I would do that. I love lunch in Pandora.
Right before we leave.
The cheeseburger Bayo buns, whatever they're called.
Bow.
I have to thank Allison for introducing those to me. I never knew they existed.
And they took them off the menu. That was a surprise to me. It was like they took them off the menu completely for a little bit, and then due to popular demand, they brought them back.
Do you like the cheeseburger spring rolls too?
Oh my God.
I've actually never tried
so good. So good. So I got one for my mom, and Mom's like, oh, well, let me eat one. I'm like, no, you got to get your own. And then she got her own. She's like, oh. And then when we were just there last month with the kids, Andy and I went and got it. And Andy's like, he's not a good he hates Disney food. But he's like, these actually aren't bad.
Well, being the next thing, but it's the first thing we really got announced from Destination D23 is a small one. But starting September 15th, Tron Light Cycle is getting a new overlay for Tron Ares, which is going to be mainly a red theme.
Red and orange, isn't that what they said? It was going to be red and orange.
Yeah, and it's going to change the music from Daft Punk to Nine Inch Nails.
I mean, we're going to be there during that time, so we could try it out.
We could.
True.
The movie doesn't come out.
Get Terry on another roller coaster.
Yes.
You obviously we're assuming that they had all those lights were put in to be able to change color at some point.
They're just, I would hope.
They're just RGB lights because you can tell the canopy changes colors back and forth. So
yeah. Oh, sure. I just feel like, let's change the color scheme and change up the soundtrack.
I mean,
it's news.
Yeah, I don't really think that's news.
I mean,
it seems like let me change the CD player, my 6-disc changer, and change the light. That's what I feel like they just did. Yeah. So that's news.
I don't know how much y'all know about the inner workings of advertising in the parks, but the studio has to pay for anything that they want in the parks to be advertised. So if Tron, if you wanted to walk around Jared Leto character, which I guess his name is Ares, they would have to pay for that character to be there for a certain amount of time. So this was probably the cheapest way for the studios goes, hey, we want to market the movie at the pre-existing roller coaster.
Listen, I'm all about synergy. I think Disney does it the best out of so many companies, but I don't really think that people are going to be like, oh, I got to go now. And buy Tron when it's red. You love Tron, I don't think that'll make someone book a trip there. I don't think that'll change someone's plans. I think it's really cool if you're going to be there to experience it. But I guess piggybacking off you said, Jason, if it makes sense fiscally for them to get it in the park somehow to help promote the movie. But to me, I was like, that's not really an announcement.
I figured it was
like an update.
Yeah. I figured it'd be more like what Stitch did when Stitch's Greatest Escape opened, and he rolled the castle for the day, that they were going to be like, hey, we're going to do this overlay for Tron on October, I think it's 9th or 10th, whatever day that movie comes out. Hey, for this day, we're just going to overlay it. But they didn't even say how long this is going to last. Are we just going to have a red and orange Tron for a year?
Well, I was going to ask if you could change the soundtrack and lights so easily. Why don't they take advantage of that, during the Halloween party and the Christmas party,
like they do with
so people would rush to
Space
it.
Mountain.
Yeah, because it would be a limited time offer, or maybe switch up red or blue, kind of like Guardians. You don't know when you're in line if this time you're going to get red. Or this time you're going to get blue.
You be the
or different songs
songs like Guardians.
Oh, yeah. No, not different songs. You can't put 9 Inch Nails with Daft Punk. I'm sorry. Those are too different. And Daft Punk's soundtrack is legendary. It's great. It's perfect. I don't know about 9 Inch Nails, and I'm a metal person.
Yeah, I didn't even know who the singers were of the music for Tron. But it's very good. I can't imagine that it would be just as good different.
Yeah, the 9-inch has
and
a
9 Inch
darker
Nails is
tone.
hard.
Yeah, it's a darker tone.
Are they still a band, or are they using old?
Obviously, they are making the music for Tron.
Well, I didn't know if they're using old music, because I haven't heard anything on 9 Inch Nails since like high school.
Yeah, since the 90s.
Yeah.
This one is actually a really cool announcement that came out. I'm looking forward to it as a Disney nerd and as a history buff, but they've announced a new documentary by Leslie Iwerks, who is daughter of Iwerks. She did the Behind the Attractions and the Imagineering Story shows on Disney Plus. This one's going to be
love both of those.
Great.
Yeah.
About just the history of everything is amazing. This one's Disneyland handcrafted. It's going to talk about the year that it took to build Disneyland. And you think about that, it took a year to build Disneyland, and it takes 5 years to build Tron. So you had that great land, and all the
people had different work ethics back then.
Probably so.
Yeah.
There's unreleased footage and all this, and just going through and talking about the whole build. And I'm excited to see about it and a little bit more history of in depth of what Disneyland, what the problems were, and everything like that up to opening day.
So I'm reading the report from Disney Parks blog, complete with ASMR movements. Why do they
Terry's
have to
love
throw that in there?
Yeah, see, you just turn me off right there.
That's Terry's favorite.
It says this unique film, complete with ASMR movements and constructed using only rarely seen footage.
I wonder if there's
that's what we want to see.
Yeah, I think
I don't want to see. Why we gotta do that?
I don't think they're using it in the right way. I think they're going to just market it as that because it's so mono audio back then that it's going to be, seems like it's ASMR.
So that's part of the charm, the mono audio.
Yeah.
That's the charm, the black and white, the grainy film. That's where you feel the magic.
Well, I mean,
feel it. It's real.
Now, the bad thing is from the trailer, it's not the grainy film. You know, they've put this through and upscaled it to 4K and everything. So it's going to look nice, but it's still going to be that old film. I mean, it's not going to be the bright colors that we know when we see a movie. It's going to be those faded out colors. So yeah, I agree with you. You're going to have that antiqueness to it, and it's Walt. I mean, Walt's going to be talking about his own park for an hour,
right.
like I guess an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah.
And then you have Gurr going in there to talk about stuff, and these people who actually worked with Walt. So I'm excited for it. As a nerd, like I said, I'll probably have it on for a few days. And then Leslie loves the history and everything too. And she takes care of what she does, as we saw with the Imagineering Story and Behind the Attractions. So for Disney to give her more to it, maybe one day she'll be able to do a Walt Disney documentary about the man. I think that's the only thing Disney's actually missing. While we're talking about Disney and Walt himself, this is probably one of the biggest changes that we got announced was that they're bringing Walt into Walt Disney World. So the animatronic Walt that Disneyland got, we're getting a version of an animatronic coming to the opening scene of Carousel of Progress. And on top of it, Carousel of Progress will be getting completely overhauled.
I love that idea. I think it's needed to be done for a while.
Oh, it for sure need to be done for a while.
Yeah.
Laserdisc. And the VR headset that Grandma's playing. Those are horrible graphics.
I know the future is like not the future anymore at all when you're there.
I don't want them to overhaul it. I just want them to add to it.
I would like it.
Because that's what was cool at that time.
I could see that.
Discs and, the graphics and Grandma playing and the glove. And I don't want them to change it. I want, I like the way it is when it was from the World's Fair. They just added that and then just add another one. Obviously, they only have a certain amount of room, but don't change those original ones because they are classic.
I think you could keep the storyline of the original and tweak the future scene to be more encompassing to what our future scene would be. Like, you don't get rid of everything. You just say, okay, well, we're past all this. This is what a future would look like. Because Alexa, is running everybody's house for the most part nowadays. So when you tell the oven to turn on to 350, everybody's ovens turn on to 350. So it's not something, oh, wow, that can happen in the future. It happens right now. But I do think this is the best place for Walt in Walt Disney World. I'm not Still not
For
sold
sure.
on the animatronic, but this is the only thing, like Renee had said, this is from the World's Fair. This was brought over to Disneyland. When Disneyland got rid of it, Walt Disney World got it. So this is Walt's only attraction he saw and he had his hands on that are at Walt Disney World. So for him to introduce it and give the idea behind it, I think is a perfect place.
I think also he did Lincoln from the president. I think that was at the World's Fair, the 1965. It was 65 World's Fair, I think it was. So that's another thing that's in Disney World.
No, Lincoln is in Disneyland.
He's in Disneyland?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So Lincoln, Carousel Progress, and Small World were all in the 1964 New York World Fair. And they all got brought
Small World went to LA?
Mm-hmm. The LA one is the original one. Lincoln's the original Lincoln, if I remember right. They might have redone him since. But then Carousel is from 64 World's Fair. Moving over the cruise line for a little bit. It's not huge news. They just announced some of the bars. So you have on the Destiny, there you have a Doctor Strange Sanctum Sanctorum bar, which I think will be pretty fun. What they can do with that with magic and everything. And then the Pirates of the Caribbean themed bar, which I guess is going to be where the Jungle Cruise bar is. Or I'm just assuming. And then they're just bringing back the Haunted Mansion bar, which I think is a cop-out. But Rachel, pre-recording, did mention that Treasure does longer sailings and the Destiny doing smaller sailings. This gives people more of a chance to see one of the most popular bars that Disney has done in a while on the cruise ships. The cool thing that they did say, though, is they're introducing character meet and plays. It's like Dr. Facilier will be walking around. I think they said Jack Sparrow.
Oh, doing like the card tricks. I think I saw him with his cards. Yeah.
So you'll be able to sit down and meet him. I guess that's kind of like what they did at Star Cruiser, where you could go in and do stuff with Ray if you were in the right spot at the right time, or little things. So kind of bring stuff they've learned into actual cruise lines. I don't know how will it go off and how many people get mad that they didn't get to play with Dr. Facilier, though.
I mean, it might work because there's a
really
limited
cool
number of people on a cruise ship as opposed to the thousands that are in a theme park that can come at you. So, and especially if everyone's on a different deck, a different area of the ship, they might be able to manage the crowds better where they can have a couple of people sit down with the character and not be all over them.
For sure.
Yeah. By the time word gets out, they'll be off that deck. So it's not like you have time to go get them. And I like the fact they're not costumed. Like,
they're not.
They're face characters. Yeah, they're face characters.
Yeah, because that's the one thing I've seen critical of Disney that people like at Universal is that the character interactions at Universal are better because they actually walk through the park. And like you said, I understand why Disney characters, they have the big fluffy costumes. They have to have their handlers and they just can't walk through the park because they wouldn't get anywhere because they would constantly be stopped. So I think having face characters walking around where people could actually interact with them like real people, I think that's really cool.
Yeah, it has that extra memory. I mean, you've seen it in Disneyland where they walk around freely and just do whatever they want to and interact with everybody, but they don't get to go everywhere because of how big the crowds are, especially for the Maleficents and the Evil Queens and Peter. Because that's why they can't do it in Walt Disney World, because you'd have 20,000 people clumped up around one person. Yeah. So I wonder if this is going to happen on the cruise line, though. You have a few, like a big group of people trying to get into this meet and greet, meet and play, whatever. And I wonder if it's going to be a room. Like, is it going to be just a little standoff room that they have that go in and set up for Dr. Facilier to play his game? Or is he going to sit down at the table next to you and start playing?
It'll be fun to see.
I would venture to guess it's going to be not something that's scheduled. Just going to be, you happen to be on this deck and here he comes and here's his cards and he's going to sit down with you and you're having your chicken fingers.
That's what I say. Maybe they'll have in a room where they could close the doors if it got to capacity instead of having it on the open deck where people could just mob around. But like you said, if you were at a bar or a restaurant, he could sit at your table, and then if it got to capacity, they could close the doors and say,
"Right,
sorry, nobody else can come in right now."
Or do you think it'll be like the Royal Gathering?
I don't think it's a Royal Gathering where you have to kind of sign up for it or anything. It seems too formal. Like this is like if they're just walking around and he comes down, sits next to you, and wants to play cards. Or whatever Jack's going to do, that's organic. And it's like, oh, this is an experience just for me right now. Not, I'm still waiting in line to meet these people or play a game.
It's more immersive and less sterile.
Yeah. Which I think is what Disney really strives to do on the cruises for sure, is try to make those memories a little bit more. Because you do see the characters walk around more freely on the cruise line than you do on the parks. Like, I got a picture with Cinderella as I was walking to dinner and Bethany was going to the store or something like that. And I was just like, okay, hey, Sin.
Yeah, we had Goofy in his pajamas. He literally held, like, cornered Mason and, like, held his hand and, like, walked to dinner with us. Yeah, it was one of the best memories on DCL.
That's amazing. Well, I look forward to that. I'll be on the Wish next month.
I'm jealous. I really want to get on that ship.
You were on that ship.
I mean, I want to actually sell
together. We were on it together.
Yeah.
I saw you there.
I was working, taking videos. I don't remember who I talked to. I guess this one's good news. Siobhan brought it up a couple of episodes ago, how she didn't like the colors of the castle, and Disney has announced that they are reverting Cinderella Castle back to the gray and blue that it is known for and is beautiful.
Yes.
Like I got the rose gold. I didn't like it. Like, we're going to paint it for a special occasion. At least it wasn't a birthday cake for the 50th.
I love it.
Of course you do. You like
that was amazing. The birthday cake. That birthday cake castle. That was amazing.
I wanted to go, but now when I look back, I'm like, I don't know why they did it.
It's just so cool. I mean, that was just, yeah.
Well, they didn't do the whole thing. They forgot the back. Just like they do when they do the dream lights. Well, when they did the dream lights.
I think it was nice for the anniversary that they dolled up the castle. We're done.
Mm-hmm.
Bring it back. There's a lot of people who really like the classic nostalgia of that park. The new things are fun, but some of the stuff don't mess with. That's what I feel like.
I think
it's cool to have it back because that makes the special times more special. And like you said, and it keeps the classic times more classic.
It probably will maybe be a little bit more vibrant.
I think so.
I think
not as dull.
Paint to me is always more vibrant.
I think they're getting to the point of, hey, we have to repaint this castle because the pink is not as pink as it was. So we don't want to be doing this every 5 years. So if we paint the grays back on, the sun won't fade it as bad. I mean, they just have to paint the turrets every so often.
I miss the classic look, like the Cinderella look of the castle.
Well, I've missed the dream lights.
I do too. I want those to come back.
Those need to come back.
And everybody that I saw after this came out was like, well, you can do this. Can you please just bring back the dream lights?
What if they surprise us this year with the dream lights?
Have they ever given a reason why they haven't?
Money.
I mean, I
they
figured
spent all
that.
the money on the projections to put it up there, and it's easier to project than it is to have Ichabod Crane sitting at the back of the castle for a month.
I know, but they're so pretty and make it look so much more magical.
Yeah.
That's one reason we went to Disneyland for Christmas this year, is because we wanted to see dream lights on a castle again. And while it's a smaller castle, it was a lot more pretty than going to see Cinderella Castle.
For sure.
Can we have like 5 less fireworks per night to save money? Dream lights.
It's not even that.
I need every single one of those fireworks.
No, we need a happily ever after to stay just as it is.
Yes. But I would even say it's not so much of the money side of stuff. Yeah, they spent the money on the projectors. It's the time it takes to put the lights on, and the fact that they have the crane in for a month. Like I think the crane always came in right after Labor Day, and they started putting the lights on up through like right before the Halloween party started or something like that. And then they bring it back out right after Marathon Weekend to start taking those things down. So you had a crane and pictures for 2 months.
Yeah. Aren't we going to have scaffolding and stuff as they're repainting the castle? Anyway?
Yeah, we are. But they'll put a scrim over it.
I think it's worth seeing the crane for a month to get the dream lights.
I do too. I'm not complaining. I have plenty of pictures in front of a castle with a crane.
Yep.
Yeah. I was going to say, I feel like
and
if you don't get the crane, you're lucky.
The only reason we didn't have cranes when they painted it pink was it was COVID. So they drained everything and they put those the cherry pickers in the moat and painted it all at once.
Did they do a lot of that work when the park was closed?
Mm-hmm.
I think so. Yeah.
Because that's the only big thing we got for the 50th besides the statues.
I love that they left the statues. They're fun.
They are.
And when you walk by and your magic band buzzes, my son loved that. Because they'd be like, wait, I'm close to one. And we'd have to like find it.
Yeah.
Next year's going to be the 55th anniversary. So they'll repaint it for something else. We'll get the gray for 6 months and then they'll paint it for the 55th anniversary.
No,
55
they don't do that.
I know.
Yeah, it'll be the 60th.
They'll do diamonds for the 60th like they did in Disneyland.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Then maybe we'll get dream lights back, so it looks like there's diamonds on the castle.
Yeah.
No,
They don't do things like that anymore. I remember like in the early 2000s, every year there was some like new theme that would be or marketing theme or push. Like I remember the year of a million dreams when they were just giving away things to people like a night in Cinderella's castle. And then there was the 2000 celebration with the Mickey hand on the Epcot ball. You know, there was always some new theme every year that they push. Like they feel like they don't do that anymore.
What was the last one? It was
because Cool Kids Summer was a not Cool Kids Summer.
No, it wasn't.
They wouldn't give me a bag unless I had a kid on the reservation.
Like it's a bag. How much does that cost? Come on now.
You're like,
$0.05.
this is for adult children as well. I am an adult child at Disney.
It was a week of something, like week of like the leap year or something like that. Maybe was the last big thing they did, and it was every week they changed something. So it was like
yes, and then they had the park open for 24 hours.
Yeah, and that was like the Frozen one was the last one they did at that because we went that year. We did the 24-hour day, the last 24-hour day. But it was like limited time magic. That's what it was called. And like there was rare character week. So they bring out the Robin Hood characters would all come out and meet in the town square. And then they did the 24 hours open in the park in Magic Kingdom.
Yep.
And that coincided with the 60th anniversary of Disneyland because Disneyland premiered Paint the Night that night. And it closed to capacity within like 2 hours of opening. And then it started opening back up after Paint the Night.
That was a busy day at Disneyland.
Busy.
It was a fiasco. Disney World was great. I loved being in Magic Kingdom for 24 hours after 2 hours of sleep.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
I don't think I could do that.
You don't have to worry about it now.
No, we don't.
Was it packed?
Yeah, it was pretty packed.
Like even at like 3 a.m., 2 a.m., it was still packed?
Yeah.
Did they keep food open for that whole time too?
Yeah, so some of the rides went down for maintenance and all that stuff that they usually do. It was pretty bad.
Imagine if it wasn't a dry park.
Oh my God.
It was.
Like, I know it's not
that was open for
Basic.
24 hours.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I think they probably did that strategically so they had a dry park.
Surprised they don't keep Epcot open for 24 hours, especially on New Year's Eve when they're going through the countries and it's New Year's Eve in every different.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah.
They
People
could
would
really
stay.
market the crap out of that.
I mean, even keeping Epcot
You just gave
open
them an
until
idea.
like 2 a.m.
And then the ticket for the day will be $400.
But you get to celebrate New Year's.
In all the different countries.
And if you celebrated it at the time, would be pretty cool.
They do celebrate it, I think, in every country at the.
I think they do it
at the time that they can.
Yeah.
But some of the countries are too far away to even celebrate it.
But if you do,
Or
like
it's
China,
like the day before.
Yeah, you do like China or something like that. You could do the daylight fireworks that are more like the powder and shoot up in the air, and you can set up a fireworks show.
Why are you giving Disney ideas?
That's what we do here.
No, instead they're just going to make Tron red. That's what
Lauren
their
just
idea is.
Red.
Just red.
That's it. That's all you get.
Be red.
These are great
NBC.
ideas, guys. We're going to change the color of the roller coaster.
I know. And someone sat in a room and was like, I have the best idea ever. We're going to make it red. And they were like,
They got paid a
we're gonna do
lot
that.
more money than we do.
Yeah.
That is true.
And there was no one in the room that was like, really? That's the best that you've got.
All you got.
They're like, does it cost any money to change the color of the LED?
It does. It took that one person, 8 hours to program. So they had to pay the one person the 8 hours.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
I mean,
Which that person probably could have done it in their sleep. They love what they do so much.
They were just sitting around the room going, how can we market this new Tron movie? Oh, we got a great idea. Let's turn the ride red.
Yeah. Sometimes I look at a lot of things that Disney does and I'm like, really? Really?
There's so much potential.
Really
sometimes.
the best. Yeah, exactly. This is really the best you could come up with. Because how come somebody who lives in New Jersey that's never worked for me was like, that's a really bad idea. But how about this?
But something I thought was a good idea was that Cusco-topia they just did at Typhoon Lagoon. That looked like so much fun. Did you guys see that?
yes.
The whole Emperor's New Groove
They brought the
party.
characters out. Like Cusco, both
Gronk
as Cusco and Llama.
Yzma was there. It was so, it looked so fun.
Because the whole idea
they didn't do a good job marketing it because I had no idea.
Say, and like none of the people I follow, I didn't see anything.
Oh, was it an exclusive
theirs.
thing for the D23 stuff?
It was. So you had to have gone to Destination 23, and that was one of the incentives. Was they closed Typhoon for the night, and it was Cuscotopia just for the.
It looks so fun. I wonder if it did really well. If they'll do something like that, like continue with something like that, since they have all the stuff
because they didn't make any money off of it.
Well,
if they get positive feedback from people saying, "Hey, we would pay $80 to come do this every night." Now, if they look down the road at Universal and Volcano Bay and what they're doing the Volcano Bay nights that they've extended because of how popular they are, they would know. But then you also have Typhoon Lagoon's Rexosaurus, Partysaurus Rex. So the glow nights, or is that what it's called?
The H2O glow nights.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you either have to choose that or Cuscotopia.
Cuscotopia. Because Emperor's New Groove just doesn't get enough love.
It doesn't.
It's so good.
You should have like some pop-up characters more often. Like just randomly, like you said, like the obscure, like you said, Robin Hood and then Emperor's New Groove. I mean, just have those randomly pop up in different parks for, so people will always kind of be excited about, oh, who's going to come today? Like, I hope we get surprised. I don't know why they don't do more things like that.
Back to the Tron thing. Why not spend the money on a Tron costume or two and bring Tron characters into that Tron area? Let them walk around for a little bit. That would be a cool idea. Seeing them.
Better than the red lights.
Yeah.
They'd be red lights on a person.
How fun would he or she would look at night?
I was going to say, awesome. That'd be great.
That would look really cool.
We could make our own Tron costumes. It could be like the white jumpsuits, and then we could just put the glow sticks across.
Yeah.
Those you have at Halloween.
That was
you turn off the lights; Tron. They just glow.
That was 1982 Tron, not Tron Legacy or Tron Ares. My favorite topic of Disney Magic Kingdom right now is obviously the Villainsland that will never come about because we have absolutely nothing when it comes to concept art still for Villainsland.
Why don't you ask Renee's, since she's never, what is her perception of Villainsland?
I certainly think that they need a home because they really are loved, even though they're villains. I just think that they need to do it right. I really like the villain show at Hollywood Studios talking about villains things, but I saw it again and it's the same exact show that I saw when I was there 2 months ago. The actors are fantastic. They certainly need their time. I understand the villains are three. It's the same three. I was like, I said to my daughter, I think there's going to be different characters this time. I'm pretty sure that's what I read. And no, the same three. Somebody different one this time because it's the audience. But I think they just have to keep in mind that they're a park for children. Magic Kingdom is where people go with little kids. There can be scary things, but there's so many good villains who have so many good backstories that they could just immerse you in.
Do you think Disney will actually open Villainsland?
Yeah, maybe in 10 years, 5 years, 10 years.
Oh, you're giving it hope.
I know, because all we got from D23 was pictures of what the inspiration of the architecture is going to be.
That was the panel and this was also what they talked about when we talked about the play and greets or meet and plays, whatever they're calling it. That's where this was announced, was in this villains panel. So it was like, hey, we're going all over the place to find inspiration for the architecture for Villainsland. And I'm like, wouldn't you already have that?
If they already had this plan when they announced it last year with that vague concept art.
2022 was when they first announced Villainsland. They came out with Blue Sky saying, we would like to build Villainsland in the Magic Kingdom beyond Thunder Mountain. 2022. You would think
3 years ago,
some type of idea of what they want then. You announced Cars Land last year at D23 and then D23 Brazil, which was just a few months later. We had our first concept art and actually ride vehicles, I think.
And the AI renderings of what it would look like for the ride.
And now there's construction.
Yeah. We don't have anything like that for Villainsland. We don't even know if there's rides in this land. They said we have 2 rides in Cars Land when they announced it. They haven't even said we have rides in Villainsland.
Oh, I wasn't expecting rides at all for Villainsland. I was thinking it would be a show, some theming. I wasn't envisioning a ride.
It Yeah, they got.
But in that concept art from last year, it looked like there's a roller coaster.
Yeah,
like it looks like in the concept art that they have a roller coaster.
Yeah, it's in like the front left corner.
Mm-hmm. And I know for sure they said like shopping. I think, did they announce, they said there's going to be, but not how many, like rides, shopping, character meet and greets.
So they announced
food.
So I missed something up with Brazil. They didn't announce anything with the land itself. They announced for cars. They did announce the villains coming into the land for Villainsland. They said these are the villains you can expect to see here, which is
and they gave us a list of those. Yeah.
But then it was at South by Southwest when we got the Cars Land first concept of this is what the ride's going to be like when you're doing this outdoor track and how much research we've done. For a land that you just announced 6 months ago and you're already doing vehicle testing on how you want to build this ride, yet a Villainsland that you've announced 3 years ago,
yeah.
You're just now doing architecture work for it?
But they gave us the show at Hollywood Studios.
Yeah.
I would venture to guess, in my opinion, is how do you tie them all together?
So I think they're having creative differences with a lot of stuff, and that's why they can't nail anything. Because one person thinks it should be this way, and one person thinks it should be this way. And then, like she said, tying everything together.
Right.
I feel like no two people probably have the same idea of how to do that, and there's probably a lot of this plus like budgetary, plus space, plus all that stuff.
Yeah.
They were talking about it being like beyond the fairy tale, like what it would be like.
Yeah, this has always been here, but this is just where they go.
I don't know. I want it to happen because I do love like the whole villain stuff. And I love that Disney started doing the like origin stories of the villains. So you kind of understand them more. Yeah. But I just want it to happen sooner. But I feel like I'm going to be like 45 before this happens.
I don't see it happening anytime soon. I think Cars Land opens and they just go, okay, we forgot about Villainsland, just like we forgot about multiple things that we've announced in the past. And you've increased the capacity on a horrible attraction, by the way, because you're doing an outdoor ride system again in an area that storms during the summer. So
when they literally could have just taken out the Speedway and redone that whole area instead. Nobody likes the Speedway. I know, like you could just be like, that's not part of Tomorrowland anymore. Like that can be like a little Cars area and make that instead of a whole, like taking out Tom Sawyer Island and all that.
My understanding for the Speedway is a weight capacity thing because it's right on top of the utilidors. So they can't build too much on top of that because that would put too much weight on everything underground. So that's pretty much just blank space. And you could build shops or something, but not a huge land addition.
The Speedway just needs to go.
They could have converted Speedway to electric and done Tron cars to go with the Tron coaster. And then that way they wouldn't just turn the coaster red, they would have turned the cars red too. So they would.
And it's something for little kids.
Yeah. They would have doubled their budget for it.
And then when it smelled like gas.
Oh, yeah, it's the smell wouldn't be so bad.
Yeah. Don't turn the people mover red.
No, it needs to stay. And the other thing they announced last year was the whole Monsters Inc. land. And they're starting with that stuff. So, like we've gotten other things started and we have nothing again for Villainsland.
Yeah. So the Encanto stuff, all that Latin America stuff, that was all announced at the last D23. And it's now actually in work. The Avengers attraction in Disneyland, that is vertical now. That was announced like in 2022 before Avengers Campus actually opened. It was supposed to open with it, but because of all the COVID stuff, so it was actually open. It was announced before that. So they brought that back and actually gone vertical with a second attraction on top of it. And here's Villainsland that's just by the wayside.
Not happening anytime soon.
Lauren, let us know what you know about Villainsland. And
we want answers. We want to know.
Yes.
If we're right on this.
Castle / focal point of Villainsland, what would you think it would be?
Chinnerbog.
Okay.
Bald Mountain. Have him, the Bald Mountain, as the center point back in the back because it would look cool. First of all, you have a huge mountain back there beyond Thunder Mountain. And Chinnerbog is part of the mountain. So how awesome would it be that his wings...
I don't even know who that is.
You don't know who... He's on my leg.
Thank you, Rachel, because I was just nodding along.
I'm like, Terry knows what he's talking about? Like, I don't know who, Chickabog?
Chinnerbog.
Oh, the old Google machine's going to tell me here in a minute.
Was it from?
What is he from?
What is
He's
it from?
Fantasia.
What's the movie? Fantasia. Yeah,
Was that movie scared me as a kid?
He's the most villainous villain there is. Like he can bring people back from the dead. So he is part of the mountain. And he unwraps his wings.
He's like a mean gargoyle.
He looks like a demon character.
And it's from Fantasia, which is
it's their
an amazing.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it was one of Walt's biggest accomplishments.
Yep.
So why not put him? And it's like I said, he's a mountain.
I don't think they'll do it because I don't think he's that known. So he's not popular. They're going to
according to AI,
and Ursula, Maleficent.
Hers is the most recognizable Disney castle. Like if they decided to go a castle route.
Like I feel like they would do like a dilapidated castle with like, I don't know, like, cause a lot of the concept art had like thorns and stuff on it. Like it was like the overgrown, like thorn forest around it and stuff.
Like
but
a
it would have
little
to be small.
land. Like
like something like that, because you could definitely pull some Descendant stuff in there too. Like if you wanted to.
Maleficent's dragon type ride or something.
So cool.
You know?
Yes.
All these ideas, Disney, and you're not going to do it.
We have so many. All right. What else do we want to talk about?
I'm not a big D23 follower. I follow it on Instagram, but it seemed to me that this one was small compared to other years. Not many
I thought I missed a lot of
happened.
stuff.
Yeah, but I don't think there was a lot of stuff that happened.
Well, they didn't have a parks panel, so I feel like that's always makes it more popular the years they do.
Well, then, with this one's the Walt Disney World one, so it's a much smaller event than what the actual D23 is, which they announced the dates for those, but that's so big they want to have the parks panel and have all those big announcements. So maybe they're waiting for next year to announce something with Villainsland, which I'm not holding my breath for.
We'll just get more concept art. They're like, we figured out what color we're going to paint it.
Purple,
red.
We'll get the ride.
Red.
Actually, we're not doing Villainsland. We're doing a whole Descendants area, and it's going to be the Rise of Red.
Yes,
everything's red.
I would not be surprised if I said, hey, we're going to forgo Villainsland. We're going to build whatever land that is for Descendants, where they all get along and live happily ever after. And that's how they get away with it.
I can't remember the name of the land. It is good. I don't like the new one as much. Like the Rise of Red. The other ones were really good, but
so good. Such a great concept. The kids of the villains. Just such a good concept.
I thought it was.
And Kristen Chenoweth as Maleficent is hilarious.
I thought that was
fantastic.
Random get though for Disney saying, "Hey, we got Kristen Chenoweth to do a decom." It's like,
it was hilarious. I loved it.
Aradon.
That's the name of the kingdom.
Yes.
I feel like, but it would go really well with like kids, like those kids that are in that age range and coming up watching those movies. Like it would be popular.
And then it also appeals to the parents and the older generation because we all grew up watching those villains.
And you could
still have the villains walking around. Yeah.
The parents of those kids. Yeah.
Here is some great news. Y'all probably haven't seen it, but I have because I am this guy. There is a pilot in works for a remake of The Muppet Show.
Haven't heard that at all.
I am overjoyed with this. The Muppets are great.
The Muppets, they're amazing. I used to watch them when I was little. I used to take a bath, watch the Muppets, go to bed. That was the routine.
Aww.
Yep.
Well, that's going to do it for today's episode of Castles of Cauldrons. Renee, thank you again for joining us. Can you tell us where our listeners can find you to follow along with any of your Disney adventures you take?
Yeah. Thanks for having me. This was super fun. I'd come back anytime and chat with you all. You can find me on Instagram at Renee Gitto. Pretty simple. ReneGitto. I post every day. I post when I'm there. I post stories. I make reels. I love Instagram. It's a very happy, friendly place.
You should follow her because she has very inspirational quotes every morning, and I look forward to seeing them.
Because everyone needs a little inspiration in the morning to get going. We have to look for the good and not the bad every day.
And if you want to talk to any of us or the agents at Magical Travel, you can go to www.magicaltravel.com. We'd all be able to give you a no obligation quote for any type of travel you would like to take.
Oh, and I'm there too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's exciting.
You're a magical travel agent, so you're there.
That's right.
14 years.
What a coincidence. If you would take some time and follow us on social media, you can find us on Castles of Cauldrons everywhere. Take some time and rate and review our show. Just let us know what you want to hear on the next episode. we won't have an episode next week as we're preparing to go to training. So the next episode you hear from us is going to be our HHN recap, which we're all excited to hear Terry's take on everything. So until the next time, we will see you on the next episode.
Bye.